Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time to get underway with this game number 2, LGD versus IGD. IG. I'm LD, he's GoDz, we're Beyond the Summit, we're David and David, we're casting the G-1 League, the LAN Finals. This is game number 2, LGD currently leading the series 1-0. GoDz, before we get underway with this game 2, I gotta ask you, do you think IG have something up their sleeves, and if so, what might it be?
Well, I think they do have something up their sleeves. I'm sure LGD does as well. For me, IG, we're looking at something a bit different maybe for YYF, maybe going back to saying a life stealer. We mentioned the Magnetor as a hero, which 2009 has said is just ridiculously imbalanced. Maybe a hero that we see being picked up. Maybe we just see a completely more wide open pool, heroes like Naga Siren, etc. coming in. Who knows? This is, to me, is just going to be a different style of play coming out of IG altogether.
Well, we hop ourselves inside the draft, and what do we see from LGD? It's a Magnus. It's a hero that you mentioned. Is 2009 called it one of the most imbalanced heroes right now. We'll see if that's true today. We will find out soon. Gives you such a good team fight, and of course, Magnus has that great escape ability in Skewer. It's possible to run him as an offlaner. I believe we saw Orange do it we did see Orange do it. In fact, it was in GST in the Dota 2 grand finals for that event, and it worked pretty well. I gotta say, Ice Ice proved to be, well, we think it was Ice proved to be a total nuisance on that Magnetar. Can go off lane, also a very powerful solo mid.
Yeah, and well, IG, they say, well, you guys want to throw a curveball? We've got some of our own. They pick up the Necrolite very early on in the draft. The ultimate, it's nice, somewhat of a nice way of dealing with heroes like Nightstall and Magnus. These tanky string heroes, bringing them down faster. They get the Enigma as well, making sure LGD aren't going to have that option, expecting sort of the powerful sort of mid to late game team fights coming from a BKB Enigma. And well, it worked for LGD in game 1. They go with a Luna again. This is not the style of picks and play we've seen from the Chinese teams at all in the past 2 weeks, in the past 2 months from the G1 League. But here they are in the LAN Finals. They've had 10 days to prepare, and boy, have they used that time to do some research and sort of reinventing themselves.
Talk about reinventing themselves. And this combo is pretty fearsome. The Magnus and the Luna. You've got your big AoE initiator. You've got Empower to give Luna even more damage when, guess what? She already has a lot coming from that Lunar Blessing. The whole team's going to be hitting hard. Night Stalker will be cleaving if you choose to empower him. LGD have a very versatile and deep team. The one weakness I see in this draft, GoDz, they've already picked up their 3 farmers.
Yeah, this is possibly something. IG, obviously, they're just looking at banning out support heroes here. I don't see any possibility of a support mag or maybe a 4-position mag as sort of a pulling hero. I guess it could happen, but I just don't think it's very likely. So we'll be looking at an offlane Magnus, I think, just using the skewer to survive, trying to just soak up as much XP as possible. What IG are going to try to do against that is have that 1v1 matchup again. Maybe they go offensive trial and have the Necrolite solo against Magnus. The problem is, last game we saw the weakness of the offensive trial, and they just didn't get the XP needed. You can't really contest the pool well enough. Sure, they blocked it not once, but twice in the first 6 minutes. When it got dewarded, they blocked it again. But it's just a real struggle to get the levels, and if you don't find kills in that trial lane, it's no good.
Yeah, we're seeing both teams going for these drafts where they're probably not looking to be as aggressive in the lanes. Enigma, Necrolite, Rubik. Rubik can be aggressive in the lanes. The rest really can't. And as for LGD, you can tri-lane Luna. You can tri-lane Night Stalker. They're not really exceptional at it. Magnus, of course, needs to be a solo. It needs to get those levels up. Like you said, not really a great 4 position, although he's okay, I suppose, at jungling. So, suggests a slower start to this game. It looks like the tempo won't be picking up until the mid-game. Once it hits nighttime, once Luna starts to get her basic, cheap, cost-effective pushing utility-type items up, maybe once Magnetar has his ultimate and skewer, that's when LGD get aggressive. As for IG, well, they want to get Joe really fat on his Necrolite.
Yeah, they do. I'd love to see maybe we could be even looking at a Ferrari solo mid Rubik being brought back in, because his heroes, well, at least his Templar Assassin has been banned out. His Night Stalker's been taken. What does he go to after that? Well, maybe looking at something like a Queen of Pain. This could be a good game for a Queen of Pain. There is the silence coming out from Night Stalker, but it does suit us. Even as a somewhat farming, more defensive Queen of Pain, it's still a hero which can have a decent impact and provide some backup and some additional DPS for the Necrolite.
And IG have the option with Enigma of just abandoning their safe lane. Sure, you're giving free farm, but it's to a hero like Luna or Night Stalker. It's not, most likely to be that Luna. It's not a hero that's just going to have a chance to just automatically win the game solely because she gets free farm. So perhaps we'll see IG just throw Enigma in the jungle, Necrolite get that safe lane farm, Rubik support him, and then we could just have some pulls going on. Maybe we'll see those mid pulls as well. IG can run someone off lane, but I'm not sure. We've seen this Enigma off lane, guys. He hasn't really done much recently. And whoa, this is a hero that we've talked about. It's the Axe. DK Radness work quite well to counter TA. There's no TA in this game, though, so how does it fit in?
It's, I guess, just maybe a solo mid. This could be going the way of Ferrari. Chinese teams have been practicing a lot with Axe, somewhat as a TA counter, but just as a strong solo mid. He's a great frontline tanking hero, and he chases well. It's similar to how you can play. He fits into that Night Stalker bounty hunter type draft because of how good he is at chasing, using battle hunger. If you're running away and you've got battle hunger on you, you're kind of screwed if it's a maxed out battle hunger. That does some good 400 or so damage over time, so it does make it a very strong hero. I think, like you say, IG, they want to run the Enigma in the jungle. We'll probably see Faith playing the jungle Enigma, having a Necrolite in the safe lane with maybe a support with the Rubik there, or Rubik just using some pulls, and IG needs some offlane hero for YYF. Having the greedier option with the Enigma jungle, I feel, just fits in really well. They're not expecting a strong offensive trialing, although it is possible. LGD stacking up some auras here. They've got VS as well as Luna. Also a potentially strong trialing. If they want to run Magnus as a safe lane solo, this trialing could be pretty scary.
It could be. The one thing they do need, though, is a lot of levels. Luna needs levels to max out the aura, to max out the nuke, and get eclipsed, obviously, ideally up to level 2. Of course, you need at least a point or two in your glaives, and guess what? We're going to see a YYF Windrunner. I don't think LGD will go aggressive. I think they have the option, but getting aggressive against this many potential junglers, you could have Enigma and X double jungling, and then, you know, maybe just that lane sort of abandoned in the off lane, or the Windrunner could be going there. In which case, if you try to get aggressive, suddenly the battle hunger comes out, the demonic conversions show up, and you're not going to be too happy about it.
Yeah, this is not going to be a fun thing. It's one of those things where you've got the Windrunner off lane, but if it is, well, I guess if it's a dual lane or trial lane bottom, maybe Windrunner comes top. I think LGD running the offensive trial is too risky. It's something which isn't really their style either. They played Luna in the safe lane. They'll run Magnus as an off lane, and IG, they'll react accordingly. There's no reason for IG to go offensive with a dual lane or trial lane. They'll have the Windrunner in the off lane. They'll have the Enigma farming up the jungle, and this, as far as the lanes goes, that's good for IG. They'll be out farming and out leveling their opponents somewhat because they have got that jungle hero. LGD will be heavily relying on Night Stalker come mid game as a solo mid, as well as making sure that their Luna can carry it up, because basically both teams will have a successful safe lane. The mid lane will be Night Stalker versus Axe, I want to say. We'll probably see Ferrari playing a solo mid Axe here, and that's a pretty evenish matchup. Night Stalker with slightly better ganking potential there, though.
You know, it's a Yao, Magnus, and, well, maybe the Magnetar's the offlane for LGD. They don't really have the best offlaner. Magnetar's okay in that position. He's not going to have a great time. But GoDz, who's your money on as this draft sort of unfolds? Has anybody been clearly outdrafted? I think, to me, if LGD are able to play that defensive style, they have this late game. IG are going to have to get some kills. Even with beautiful YYF shackles, those don't work forever. Eventually, Sylar and Xiao will get their BKBs. I think it comes down to IG finding some early advantages.
Yeah, LGD have this late game. I think I'd give a slight favor to IG just because they have the jungle Enigma who's not going to be pressured and he's not making the lanes weaker. The problem with running a jungle Enigma or something that just farming away is that your lanes become weaker. But with just having that safe lane dual lane against a suicide hero like Mag, it'll work fine. So for me, I think IG have two lanes which are working really well, and then they've got the jungle Enigma. For LGD, they've got the mid lane as well as their safe lane working out, but they don't have the jungle hero. They have two supports who have to use a lot of pulls to maybe get their farm and XP. So IG, as far as early to mid game goes, looks good. If LGD can survive it out, take it late game, then they do have a very scary looking team fight as well as the hard carry in Sylar.
Well, there's two huge ultimates in this game. There's always Black Hole, and then there's always Reverse Polarity, and we'll see. Now, of course, Rubik can't steal that Reverse Polarity, can steal that Eclipse. There's a couple of huge spells to steal. Will he be able to do so? We're going to find out soon. But before we do, let's introduce the players. Yao on the Magnus, playing that offlane role, it looks like. Stout Shield picked up lots of regen. Yao has transitioned from a solo mid player who played almost exclusively Invoker at the International to an offlaner. First Bounty Hunter. Now we're seeing some diversity. We're seeing this Magnetar from him. DDC on his signatureless track, one of his most common heroes. DD on the Vengeful Spirit was a sensational Enigma last game. This game, it'll be his job to shut down that Enigma with some timely swaps, some timely magic missiles. Sylar on the Luna, going for that standard build. Early Tranquil Boots probably going to come out for him. And Xiao 8 going mid, rushing the bottle.
Yeah, Zhao in that new solo mid-range for IG. Well, YYF on what is perhaps his signature hero. Well, maybe Bounty Hunter probably his signature hero as far as what he plays most, but Windrunner, what he's sort of famous for. Those shackle shots
It's a
he's been hitting
classic.
recently. It is a classic, and he plays it as almost as well as anyone. He's going to not be... He's sort of in the top lane. I think he's going to do some early pulls here, maybe just jungle a bit with the Enigma, because he knows this tri lane for LGD is pretty damn scary. You've got 430 Ferrari playing the solo mid axe, Enigma in the hands of Faith, Chuan playing the 5 position this game. He's playing the Rubik, and then finally, in the safe lane, Zhou on a trademark hero as well. He's on the Necrolite.
Yeah, this is a trademark hero, which I think that was the first time we saw it not work out. He had some epic counter in bottom lane. This could be a little bit of trouble for Yao. A lot of blows being traded will push back Chuan, but Chuan is telekinesis, throwing it back in. They don't quite have the burst damage to bring Nagdus down, but we see the potential for killing. We also see it mid, where Ferrari is not going to get the 1v1, at least not to start. Xiao 8 and DDC are going to work together to keep him back out of the lane. Once Xiao 8 gets the bottle, then it becomes pretty hard to actually use Battle Hunger. I wonder how much we'll see Ferrari favor it, because you can always just void a creep, an easy last hit, and then the Battle Hunger doesn't do much for you. It's a nice ganking spell. It can be useful in chases, but in this lane, once the bottle's up, and it already is, I don't think it's going to accomplish much.
Yeah, and the one thing that we haven't talked too much about that LGD can do, they can run these dual lanes. They can have Leshrac spend a lot of time mid. They don't need 3 heroes top to keep Windrunner out of the lane. And Windrunner's actually bottom lane. Windrunner's decided, I can't go top. There's the power of the offlane mag. How do you gank him? How do you kill him? He's got this 1200 range skewer. He just goes flying out of there. And that's with YYF coming in. It sort of looks like a support Windrunner. He's meant to be in the offlane, but he just can't go up there because of that tri-lane. The tri-lane, the supports have completely abandoned. They're rotating mid, though. They're looking for a first blood. It could come on Ferrari here.
Oh, this is pretty bad for Ferrari. He needs some epic spins. Spin to win, Ferrari. Spin to win. It's not going to happen. He's being brought lower. Maybe it will, DD. Not enough. DDC almost dies, though. In comes Faith. The counter gank. They pick up one, but will this cost him his own life? There's a void. This should be his death. It will be. Double kill for Xiao 8. DD needs a last hit. Get that last hit. He pulls it off. What a play by the support. No! Sniped by YYF. A drive-by from the level 2 roaming support Windrunner. 2-2. It's only 2 minutes in. Who came out on top there?
Oh, I don't think it's either. I think that's just one of those bit of comedy at the mid lane. Neither team really get to a huge advantage from that. I think Axe is okay giving up the first, but Night Stalker will have a slight level advantage there. The problem is for LGD, they swing both their supports in. The entire time Sylar's free farming, the entire time you've got the Necrolite at bottom free farming. I'd say LGD get a slightly better off because they have Mag getting some XP at bottom lane, whereas Windrunner is just a level 1 roaming support, level 2 now, using some pulls. So this is what IG want to do, just get Windrunner some early levels and farm as much as possible here in this jungle.
Imagine if YYF had those levels. Already managed to clean up one with that timely power shot. That's without items. That's without anything. Look at how smart Ferrari's being with his Battle Hunger. You only want to use it when the enemy hero has nothing to deny or to last hit. He's making sure that the creep wave is not in a position where Ferrari or where Xiao 8 can just void a creep. And, well, it is pretty annoying. I'm not convinced about this build. I don't really think it's the best choice. But at the same time, Berserker's Call kind of hard to land early on as well. So, X, generally good against melee heroes, but GoDz, I don't know that this is the best matchup.
Yeah, he's not... For me, he's against Night Stalker, it's not going to be the funnest. Night Stalker even just using that Bottle Crow, he's going to always have mana to use the Void.
Oh. Look at that range. Like you said, just can't catch him.
And this is constantly Faith coming out. Faith just wants to be farming here. Faith is probably saying, well, if we get this kill, it's worth my time. But if you're knocking those kills, this Enigma falling behind as far as leveling goes. He could be as a jungle Enigma, you can level as fast or faster than the solo heroes, which just isn't happening in round 2 of mid lane. Ferrari going to get ganked, and this time he's much slower, much easier kill for the LGD supports.
Oh, killing spree already. Ferrari getting a heavy dose of his own signature hero in this patch. It's the Night Stalker from Xiao 8, already level 5, already on a killing spree, and about to bottle up another rune. He's not farming well, but that's okay. This is still pretty much a dream start for him. And God, the pressure is relentless. They're rotating top again. YYF does, I think he saw them here with the ward, but no boots on the Venge. That's just YYF really just squeezing every last drop out of that lane before he's forced to back.
Oh yeah, he's one of those players who in the off lane, he used to play solo mid, but he just switches roles and he's just so efficient with his time. When he played carries or solo mids, he never wasted time with farming. He was always as efficient as possible. In this offlane, he's as efficient as possible in terms of getting whatever XP he can, leeching it and then backing off at the right time, not getting caught out. LGD want to pressure this G-1 tower, want to try to get it down fast, but For the time being, they're unable to do so. DDC has gone for the Lightning Storm build, the same build we saw last game from IG with Leshrac, and we're not going to see the Leshrac being used as an early pusher with Edict.
Interesting choice because they have that option to push. It's awfully Windrunner. She's decent at anti-pushing, but really until the power shot hits, say, level 3 or 4, you're not going to be able to stop halt to push by yourself. It's a little surprising to me, but it is a safer option. You don't necessarily want to get close to IG. You don't want Death Pulse to hit you. You don't want to get Berserker called. You don't want the Enigma to black hole you. So in that sense, well, it's the stand-in for a hero like Keeper of the Light or a Jakiro. You can't get those, so this is using essentially Leshrac as a replacement for them.
Yeah, just get that long range nuke spam that you can use to push out lanes to harass, and it's to me the more interesting thing is they've mixed in BS here. This is LGD, very typical. They don't really have a clear forward position. They never run junglers. They always have two supports, both of whom share the load of warding, getting whatever items up. If Leshrac is getting close to Arcane Boots, VS will do some warding, but once one of them gets items, they give space for one another to get that level of items up, and they've rotated mid again. The wards have expired. Ferrari, though, he's alone at mid, and there's no backup. Enigma, not there. Windrunner kind of nearby, but closer to the fountain, and there we go. It's actually VS finds the Enigma on the high ground, gets completely caught out. Chain stun, burst down by the Lesh and the VS.
Easy kill, and now Xiaowei continues to control these runes. The Battle Hunger doing absolutely nothing for Ferrari except wasting mana. He's finally farmed his bottle. Now, obviously, the supports have given this Night Stalker a big jump start, but now, you know what? There's not really much of a plan B as a solo mid-axe. If you don't win your lane gods, what do you really offer to the team at this point? What do you do with your time? Well, you might die. This is what looks to be real bad. Xiaowei comes in, Void on Ferrari. Berserker's call will be dodged. Now the Battle Hunger. YWF has joined the fight. No shackles even for the Wizard himself. And Xiaowei just lurking, waiting for an opening here. God, does he ever want these kills?
Yeah, and like you say, where does Axe go? He hasn't got much farm. He hasn't
Oh, Faith,
got the levels
really?
exactly to do much.
Oh my god. 3 auto attacks and he's dead. Now the courier comes in. Xiaowei maybe could even snipe that. Maybe could go on YWF here. Windrun will be forced out. It's tough, and they're not, you know, this draws supports away from bottom. Now Yao's getting more farm, more levels. Sylar's been left unchecked, already up to 50 creeps. This is looking pretty bad for IG in game number 2.
This so far has been such a successful Night Stalker, 4-0, and it comes down to the early support. This is a different way than IG. If you look at how IG played Night Stalker last game, it's all about leave Night Stalker mid, and then he goes and finds the kills. This time, LGD say, let's bring the kills to Night Stalker. Let's come mid and get him kills at mid lane, and that gives him this early start. We're only just at the beginning of nighttime, and Night Stalker's already 4-0, already has treads, bracer. He's smoked himself up. He's going for a gank on bottom lane now. This has been a really different way of playing Night Stalker as far as the Chinese teams go, and it's working out so well for LGD.
Here comes Director 8. Xiao 8 is the director of this movie, and he is here. He wants Zhou. The Death Pulse shouldn't be enough. Zhou looks to be in trouble. YWF Shackle will not latch, but maybe with this TP, just maybe they can get away. YWF being brought low. He will fall first. Xiao 8 strikes will be cleaned up by Yao, and this gives Yao close to his level 5. Xiao, look at it. It just runs in a circle, comes right back in. This is Ferrari 2.0 as far as the Night Stalker aggression goes. Zhou getting a dose of that. Now silenced. Will Xiao 8 dive the tower? He will not. Nice, actually, salve there. I think that came from Chuan. And Xiao 8 forced to back off, but this is forcing TPs in. And again, gods, it's really all about just creating space for Sylar. This is a carry's dream.
This even just going for that additional chase there.
No.
Still, Axe actually gets a kill at Leshrac on the mid lane. Just going for the additional chase there. It's all about
Battle Hunger.
Applying pressure as much as possible. You've got Necrolite. He has to use a salve. He gets out of mana, and IG just constantly on the back foot. YWF comes back top now, but he's level 5 against a level 8 Luna with 62 creeps, Ring of Aquila, Tranquil Boots, and an Ogre Club. This is a very farm Sylar.
You know, I feel like IG isn't making the kinds of adjustments to the aggression that we saw out of LGD. We're not seeing the Enigma stay near that safe lane. We're not seeing 3 heroes grouped up there. We're seeing IG do what they always do, which is just spread out and be as greedy as possible, you know, with intelligence. But Faith is going to die for this. He gets caught out by Xiao 8. Mega kill for him. And it just, this Night Stalker by himself is just casting a massive net over the entire map.
The Axe pick is just not working at all for IG, and it comes down to the support play from LGD. This is something they showed on occasion during the group stage for G1. I remember a couple of their games, one of their games against SQL, they had DD and DDC roaming around the map non-stop from the start. It was Fumofu playing a solo mid TA, and they just ganked him all day long. They're doing a similar thing to the Axe at mid lane. They say if Axe gets shut down, Axe is a hero without farm, without early game sort of damage done. He's can become completely useless, and that's what they're trying to do to Ferrari, and that's what Ferrari's quickly happening.
Oh, yeah.
They've got wards all around the mid lane. Look at this wards from LGD behind the tier 1 tower, above the tier 1 tower. It is just scary how hard it is for Ferrari to leave his lane to stay alive in his lane.
And how easy it is for Xiaowei to be aggressive, to dive these towers, knowing that there's not a support lurking behind the tower or lurking on the high ground. He will be spotted. In fact, he wants this courier, or maybe, I think more likely, just wants to rotate top. One thing I will say for IG, they haven't lost their outer towers yet, and that's crucial. Once those towers fall, then Night Stalker Luna just chases you down to the ends of the earth. Just a little chip damage from Xiaowei, not actually going to commit to that gank, but this is something he could do, is just scare Ferrari back, slowly wear him down, and then the supports come in. Speaking of supports, Chuan is here, and Chuan is level 6. We could see some big Rubik plays. We'll have to find out if we do. He's actually out-leveling the offlane Magnetar, who got a couple of kill experience earlier. It's not all lost for IG, but they just got to get something rolling soon.
Yeah, they do, and even with Mag being out-leveled, out-farmed, he's getting close to level 6. Mag's a hero who can still have a big impact without a point in farm. Just the ultimate on its own, the skewer to set things up. In some ways, you can use Mag like you do with Batrider, just catch heroes, force heroes out of position. Skewer can be used like that. Then you've got the ultimate, which is a hugely potent AoE stun. So that's why, I mean, that's sort of why he comes back to being a very strong hero now in the current metagame. You add in some DPS, some burst damage in the shockwave. You've got your nuke there as well. So LGD, they've got a hero who doesn't need a lot of farm, can have a big impact regardless. They've got the hero who does need farm and is getting a lot of it in Sylar with this Luna at top lane. And this is the kind of carry hero that LGD have started using, and it really suits them. Really suits this new style of play we're seeing. Not the lone druid, which is just a bit too slow, a bit too passive. Luna much better at just dominating the mid game.
And like you said, it also came down to the draft in the lanes. The Axe not working, and along with that, IG not contesting the Luna's farm. If you're not going to contest the enemy carry, then you've really got to make sure you're winning your other lanes. And, well, they didn't. They lost mid to the smart ganks of LGD. Now they're in a position where the pressure's on them, the onus is on them, and it's going to be a little bit tough. Magnetar has Arcane Boots. LGD, we haven't seen their full potential of their lineup. You talked about the utility of Magnus, how hard he is to kill. GoDz, he's also a great sort of support buffing hero. Once this game goes later, Luna, maybe she needs one less item because she's got Empower. She'll have the Vengeance Aura. She'll have Wave of Terror as well. She's going to be hitting quite hard with minimal items.
Yeah, and you mentioned we haven't seen the full potential of LGD Lamp, and it's coming soon. As far as IG goes, their full potential is not coming for a long way. Zhou, sure, he's got his mech. You've got Faith, who's just picked up a Soul Ring by the looks of things. He's 1 and 4. He's really struggling. Ferrari is struggling. Faith is struggling. YYF's got Arcane Boots. For an offlane hero, YYF is where he should be. But it's where he should be, assuming his solo is doing well, assuming his jungle Enigma is doing well. So in terms of the rest of his team, YYF just is not going to have enough farm to help out in these team fights when none of his teammates have those items. And LGD, they're looking good. They're really looking solid here. They can look to contest this T1 tower, I feel, if they really want to.
And how do you push into this? The Lightning build really paying dividends now, along with Magnus. This is the utility of the hero. The creep wave dies in 2 nukes, and, well, IG can't do anything about that. They have the mechanism on Zhou, but you can't spam that mech with the same frequency you can spam these nukes. Look at the cooldowns. It's 7 seconds on Shockwave. It's what? 5.5 seconds on Lightning Storm, and all the while, it's 5-man Dota from IG and 4+1 from LGD.
Yeah, that's the worry. Sylar farming this entire time. They are managed to get Battle Hungers onto the supports, get Battle Hunger on DD and DDC whenever possible.
Big fight breaking up. Black Hole catches too. The Magnetar ult was not there. Can he buy back? He can't. But in comes Luna. In comes angry Sylar. Eclipse was stolen. Chuan! Not gonna be enough though. Oh my god, he is playing incredibly well. Oh, my kingdom for a few more items, says Chuan, and please, mercy, please, no mercy from Director 8. This movie ends with your death, Chuan, or maybe not, or maybe not, or maybe yes. Xiao 8 with the triple kill. And that came after a beautiful YYF shackle, after a great chain stun. They didn't get the Magnetar ult off, and GoDz, they still win that fight handily.
Well, Xiao, the director, he's also written the script of this game. He knew exactly what IG were going to do, and he knows exactly how LGD have to deal with it as far as the picks and bans have gone, as far as the movement around the map. He is just on point with all the calls LGD are making, the TP in from Sylar, everything. Their decision to fight that, contest that, was just amazing, and IG, They come back bottom, they group up, they want to take another team fight now, and it just is going to be hard for them. I think IG realize that their lineup will not go late game against Luna. Their only real hope is to take these fights soon. They've got the mech up. Axe is kind of peaking at this point. Sure, he's got no items, but he's just got his level 4 battle hunger, and he needs to use that on these support heroes.
Oh, this is going to be really, really tough. They still have the Magnetar ult. It's got to be up to G-1 to steal something big here. I think that and a shackle shot, that's really your only hope. Battle Hunger on Sylar will be shackled to a tree, but it wasn't a 2-hero shackle. Now the Void onto Ferrari 430. Power shot catches 2, doing a lot of damage, but all this can do is allow them to survive. G-1 steals Shockwave. Now they throw Yao back in. I think Yao could have manned up there and skewered in and gotten a couple with reverse polarity. But that's not LGD style. They want to play this safe. They want to make sure that when they take a fight, it's a much better position, and they're just going to back off. Oh, the Battle Hunger actually clips the Vengeful Spirit. Well, it's good for something at least.
Yeah, this is how IG look to push. They get the Battle Hunger on the supports when they can't get rid of it, and that does more than half of their HP. Leshrac maybe not anymore, got Strength Threads and an Urn, but the VS, very, very squishy. 1 Battle Hunger and about 2/3 of his HP is gone. So it makes it hard for LGD to defend, and this is similar case to last game. LGD, maybe they can go in with the Skewer followed by Reverse Polarity, but they'd rather avoid the fight and give up towers. They know IG need the kills. They need these kills. It's their style of play. They're very reliant on getting ganks, getting kills. If LGD don't deny them of that and just maybe give up the towers while stalling them, it's a win for LGD.
Remember, Black Hole has been cooling down. It should be up soon. 40 seconds to go for that. It is up. We still haven't seen the reverse polarity, and it looks like Yao wants to backstab. This could be epic. This could be huge. Come on, Yao. Go for it. Skewer in. He will complete. Oh, if he had only got 2 seconds later. Oh, that would have been 3-4 heroes caught. But, well, it was a good effort, and now the lane ward down, so that's not going to work a second time.
Wow, that was almost close. Very, very close. They can now spot out where this Magnus is, what he's up to. And Magnus, he's picked up a Hedris. This is going to be the utility of the side lane solo. We're going to see a mech coming up from Yao, I want to say. With these Arcane Boots, he's got the mana to support it. And hey, having the mech on your team, it can be very, very crucial. Oh, LGD. They smoke up directly inside the observer ward. IG know this. They know this smoke is coming, except they don't know where LGD are going. LGD actually heading towards mid lane. Sylar immediately reveals himself. I think LGD decided the smoke was not going to work, and they just back things off for the time being.
Yep, as you can see, more spells being cast. DDC, of course, won't be revealed by casting a spell, but should be pretty obvious. YYF will be smoked up along with his squad. He's actually leading the way. They are really banking on these YYF shackles, and who better to bank on than YYF when it comes to shackle shots. We have the Black Hole, we have the Soul Ring, there's no Blink Dagger, BKB up on Sylar, need a shackle to start this off, creep to hero attempted, not gonna latch, now the Split Earth latching onto Ferrari, BKB is popped, Eclipse is here, doing insane damage to the backlines, it's a massive reverse polarity, G-1 steals something great, I think that was the reverse polarity, but it doesn't matter, no mercy from LGD, 4 heroes dead, they needed a YYF 2-hero shackle, and they got nothing.
Oh man, LGD are just these team fights being executed perfectly. First it was game 1, their teamfight ability was just sensational. Now in game 2, IG, who think they have the aggressive initiation, who can just take these fights. They've got the Black Hole to back it up this time, but LGD, their positioning, the timing of these spells is just perfect, and they've got the item advantage to back it up. Having the BKB on Sylar was just so crucial.
Man, what some dedicated practice as well as a little time to adapt to the version can do for a team like LGD. A little bit less experienced than IG, a little bit less comfortable playing aggressively coming into this patch. But they've adapted, GoDz. I think it's fair to say it's not that LGD can't be beaten, but you're not going to beat them with that same old, borderline cheesy level of aggression from IG. You're going to have to find a better balance if you want to do it. They do have a lineup that goes somewhat late, mainly coming down to Black Holes and Rubik play. Zhou can help keep the team alive, but LGD have a lot of burst damage, and that makes it very hard to find the openings, the mechanism, Yao up and Yao. The Vengeful Spirit getting fairly close to her level 2 ultimate, and once that's up, the initiation gets so easy. Lightning will be cast out of the shackle. Not going to latch on DDC. He's swapped away. Great defensive swap, but Black Hole catches 2. Doesn't catch DDC. Canceled it, and then burst down instantly. Sylar in the front lines with the BKB. Zhou will fall to this. Cannot run away from Luna. She is too damn fast, and if you try to TP away, you can't because she's got that many stun. She will die as well. Axe to get picked off in the backlines, and DDC lives through it all. 3 heroes dead. You said IG really had to find openings. They couldn't sit back and farm, but boy, are they pressing, and it's costing them.
Well, no Luna ulti No problem. No mag ulti, no problem. No Night Stalker even in the fight. No problem at all for LGD there. They just had that figured out. They bait in IG. IG knew those ultimates are on cooldown, think they can take a fight, but they just kind of overextended a bit there. First a swap, followed up by a Leshrac stun on the black hole. They had all their bases covered. They knew Enigma was never getting off a big black hole. They also knew that Leshrac in the front lines there wasn't getting picked off with the swap behind it, and IG just making a couple mistakes here. Their decision making is just isn't on the same levels as LGD's, and that's something which I have not seen from IG in a long time when they're getting outmaneuvered by an opponent.
For anyone who's just tuning in, or people are like, what the hell is this match? This is the G1 League. This is game number 2. It's a best out of 3 format. There is no advantage for IG, who came into this tournament, into this game a little bit more comfortably, winning the round of 6 match. If IG lose this game, they are out of contention for first place, for second place. The best they can hope for is third, and they're 1 game away from it. I would say even less than 1 game, because this has to be, I mean, LGD not out of the woods just yet, but looking comfortable, looking confident, making all the right choices, and IG once again, the death ball coming out. In comes the BKB Chow8, focus on the Faith. How can he escape? How can he do anything? He can't. Shackle, don't think it lands there, and now the Eclipse. Too much. We might see IG just get completely wiped here. Triple kill from Sylar. Sylar is back, baby, and he's doing it this time on Luna.
Oh boy, this has just been an underdog story so far. LG, the younger team, the team with fewer big names. Sylar, a much newer face in the Chinese team, taking down Chinese legends such as YYF, such as Ferrari, Zhou, all these players who go back so long, and this new younger LGD team just had a huge fight. They followed up with a Roshan, and they're looking like they may take down IG, and keep in mind, this is IG who went through this entire tournament undefeated. Not just this tournament, every other tournament they've been playing in since the International, they've been undefeated in. They did lose a match, the one series against Navi at the International, but apart from that, this team has just not lost a series in Dota 2 in so long, and it's a bit of a curse. It happened in the International. There it was LGD who went undefeated through the group stage, then went into the playoffs somewhat undefeated, but once they met Navi, they lost. Then they lost to IG, and that's kind of what we're seeing here with IG. They went undefeated, and LGD are getting some sweet revenge.
Well, it's looking good for them right now, but we have seen IG are the king of comebacks in the Asian scene. Boy, did they punish Orange when Orange had quite a huge lead. LGD, a much more safe team in the late game, and also a team that has more decisive decision-making. Xiaohui denies the tower mid. A small play at this point, but still, IG very reliant on that tower gold. So in a sense, I suppose it's a bit bigger. They are not keeping up in farm. Necrolite just not as mobile as Luna, not really as good of a flash farmer at this point in the game, because the glaives keep on hitting harder, the death pulses do not.
Yeah, the glaives are going to be doing a lot more damage here. Necrolite not only not doing enough damage, just doesn't have the levels, doesn't have the side build. This is still a level 9 Necrolite. We're looking at just a mech up. They just do not have these items to take these mid-game fights. Enigma has really, Faith, for the first time in a long time, has just not had a very good game. I can't remember the last time I've been disappointed in Faith, but this has just been one of his weaker games. He's spent a lot of time trying to gank the mag, and that offlane mag wasted so much time for IG. They had Enigma trying to gank him. In came Windrunner, in came Rubik. They never managed to kill him, and he's sitting on just 1 death throughout the entire game here as an offlane hero. He had a fantastic game there. Some great play from Yao.
This is like when a demolition for a building is scheduled and the wrecking balls show up, and then there's one guy standing in front of the building saying, please don't knock it down, please don't knock it down, and IG are that wrecking ball right now, or LGD rather. IG are that guy standing in front of the building, looking small, looking kind of weak in terms of this game. Not sure if they can come back, but they feel quite impotent. I think they feel more impotent in this game than any game we've ever seen, even since the International too. Even when DK beat them in that first game of the WCG China qualifier finals, guys, it didn't look this systematic. It didn't look this comfortable. There were moments where DK almost lost that game. LGD are winning right now in a very one-sided and dominating fashion.
Yeah, so far this has just been smooth sailing. Game 1 was definitely in some ways closer, but you could, with IG actually got ahead by about 4 towers at one point in that game. They took down towers one by one, but you could always tell LG were trading. That was something that was part of their plan, just to not defend towers, not fall into IG's trap of taking those fights. And that's how it's really somewhat
Here we
reflects
go.
how IG played those group stages.
Here we go. Haste and Night Stalker with a Reaver and a BKB. You do not want to initiate on him. They'll blow the black hole just for him. This does not look like a good way to start the fight. Xiaowei takes 0 damage from it. Now the fight should go the other way. Faith dropping to the magic missile will be brought down. Xiaowei just can't decide which hero to eat first, but the Eclipse comes in. Sylar says, you took too long. I'm taking some food off your plate. 3 heroes dead. On to YYF. Onwards and upwards for LGD, who are once again going to team wipe. Maybe not. YYF may just escape. No, reverse polarity says hell no. Team wipe from LGD. GoDz, dare I say it, we're about to see LGD in those grand finals.
We're about to see IG and probably the biggest upset of this tournament defeated. They are going to be playing in that 3rd place match if they cannot find some way of coming back against this LGD. And LGD have just pinpointed the weakness of this IG team. They're too reliant on kills. They're too... They basically try to get kills by going for those big group up and somewhat group up and pushes. They just go look to dive you under your towers. But if you just back off, IG are like, oh crap, we can't get kills. Maybe they get a tower, but that's something which LGD were happy to give them in Game 1. Game 2, it's been LGD just firing on all cylinders from start to finish. LGD played with a bit of aggression of their own. It almost looks reminiscent of the metagame a year or two ago with the dual roaming supports, 2 to 3 early smoke ganks on the mid lane, and they shut down the key IG hero, the Accent mid lane, a hero who can just not come back with a bad start. The only hero who got a good start was Zhou, Farmer in the safe lane, but come mid game, he just got ganked and killed over and over again.
This has got to be... You know, we've seen IG go for what you thought might be their last hurrah quite a few times. Always as 5, and every time they fail a fight, they fall further and further behind. Chuan has been trying desperately to steal something big this game, but even if he steals a reverse polarity, I don't think it matters. He's got no health, he's got no items. Shackle Shot isn't going to latch on Xiaowei. Again, this is just not the hero you want to initiate upon. Even if you kill him, it's going to take everything to do it. And they threw the black hole at him last time, but it didn't even scratch the surface of that Night Stalker's deep HP pool. The gem is up. This is that next level of play from LGD. This is what we expect to see from all the Chinese teams. But LGD definitely love their gems, and they love their Chuan. Xiaowei certainly does. Nin comes to Lucibine. In comes the double BKB carries. 3 auto attacks, 1 down. More to follow. Zhou on the run. Eclipse about to be cast. Snow of reverse polarity on 3. Are you kidding me? And that will prompt an immediate GG. LGD just absolutely having their way with the defending International 2 champions. They steamroll them, GoDz, and they do it 2-0 in style.
Wow, what did we just see? LGD just playing out of their minds, drafting out of their minds, coming up with strategies designed to just pull apart this IG team. Some incredible play all around, and there was just no gaps. Every single player stepped up in both games. There was no one who I can say, they played decent but not well. Every player on this LGD team played their role amazingly in both games. The same could not be said with IG. A bit of an off day for them, but I think even if they play this better, even if they play this amazingly, LGD were just looking too good. This LGD team, I don't know what to say. They are looking like a potential real threat to take this championship, to take the G1 League, and that's after a big struggle leading up to this LAN Finals.
Well, you got to keep in mind on the other side of the field, lurks DK, lurks Orange, and these are 2 teams I think that are much more comfortable taking it late. You got Burning, the best carry in Chinese Dota, the most consistent by far. And he doesn't mind a farming war. He doesn't mind a longer economic macro-style game. So I wouldn't say that LGD are guaranteed to be the favorites by any means, but boy, did they deal with IG in convincing fashion. They serve notice that they are not to be taken lightly, that might embarrass us, and frankly for LGD, they've even said it was a bit of an embarrassment the way they lost that group stage match. 2-0, just getting crushed. But boy, have they bounced back, showing some great resilience and showing really that fire in the belly from LGD, something that we were worried that they might not have coming into this event, and something they needed it, and boy did it show. I think for me, it really starts with Xiaowei, the Night Stalker in this game, and the Bat Rider in the previous one.
Yeah, it was Xiaowei just directing the play, and he is back, in the mid lane, and that's really what's working out well for this LGD team. Having him there, having him controlling the tempo, setting up the ganks, Yao just playing the more passive mid role. He said, okay, well, I'll go into that off-lane suicide, or at least in this game. Playing the suicide role much more suitable to a passive player. And he's an efficient player. He plays this lane well. He's very defensive. He doesn't get picked off. And he played amazing on the mag. Game 1, he was actually playing a support. It was DD in the off lane, and playing in that support Undying, Yao really stepped it up as well. Nothing to take away from the guy. He was a more passive player in the mid lane, and with this role switch, LGD, this new team, are looking good. They've taken out IG. They're going on to the grand finals. IG are going to find themselves only playing for third place, and that's really not what anyone expected from IG. Everyone I know is like, IG are the favorites. They'll probably 2-0 LGD, and quite likely either against DK or Orange be able to take the finals 2-0, maybe 2-1. But in a shocking turn of events, the impossible has been done by LGD, and it really does feel like they found that champion spirit, something which I didn't believe they had. I was a doubter. I didn't think LGD had much of a chance to at least find that champion spirit. I thought maybe they come up with a nice strategy and win a game against IG, but I wasn't expecting a 2-0 sweep.
Xiao8 has been yelling his head off at the LAN. This is a Chinese LAN, and generally at those, the players can hear the commentators, they can hear each other. There aren't any sort of soundproof booths by any means, and, well, he's providing the passion to fuel this entire team from what we've been hearing. Oh boy, it's exciting to hear about, and it's exciting, I think, to see that IG they're not unbeatable. It's great to have a team that's amazing, that plays at the top of their game, but really Dota is at its best when every team has a chance. When the international Na'Vi, isn't completely swept away by the Chinese, they stick along and even knock out quite a few. Now we have LGD showing that it's not pure IG dominance, that they too have what it takes to be potentially at the top of the heap. Guys, this is the G1 League. This was only our first semifinal of 2 today, and I think in some ways the next one even more exciting. Orange versus DK, such a clash in styles. But before we really dive into that, what do you think? Do you think this LGD team, after seeing their performance today, do they have what it takes to actually go all the way?
Absolutely. I mean, you can beat if you can beat IG 2-0, you can go all the way. The one, I'd say, slight concern for me is that they would have spent the last 10 or so days. They knew they were versing IG. Their strategies, their style of drafting was designed to beat IG. The question is one day enough to prepare for either DK or Orange? It's a completely... Those two teams both have different style of picks, different style of play. DK have been running a lot of Undying. They've been really mixing up their picks. They're very more centric on their solo mid player super, whereas IG, it's more this just constant aggression, this ganking. With DK, it's all about super to some extent. Then you've got Burning providing the backup. Orange are a team who are a bit of a wild card as well, a team who I feel is completely different play style to IG. So I feel LGD are a team who just spent 10 days figuring out how to beat IG. But that doesn't mean they can beat DK and Orange. Sure, you beat the team who's the favorites, but I don't think that means you're going to win that finals yet.
Yeah, LGD definitely strikes me as a team that benefits more from preparation time than other teams. That comes down to, like we've talked about, being a little bit less experienced as a team, being a team that just plays defensively and safely. Even when they make these adjustments like the Night Stalker pick, we see some smoke ganking early on, but it's not all-out aggression. It's still fundamentally, in a lot of ways, the same LGD. They're going to get Sylar a lot of farm. That'll always be their first priority. Yes, they've switched Yao with Xiao8, but the team philosophy at its core, I think it's the same car with a fresh coat of paint. And like you said, Dota is a game of matchups. Can this fresh coat of paint be enough to weather the storm of DK, to weather the storm of Orange? We're going to find out soon. We're going to sort of wrap this match up and then look forward to our next match. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be getting into it. We'll be getting into that next match. We'll be wrapping this up and looking forward to DK versus Orange. Don't you guys leave. Don't you dare leave those seats. We have lots of content coming your way. Some pretty entertaining videos and a very exciting interview with a member from LGD International.